Hello, my name is Nyanta Sarapalli.
My name is Alex I.
And my name is Karthik Satish.
And welcome to ABMS On Air.
Today is a very sad day. It is our last show for the 2016-2017 school year.
All three of us won't be here next year, so we better make the best of this show.
The Royals are off to a rough start.
Yeah, it's pretty up in the air if they're going to be any good this year.
Let's see what the students of ABMS think in this edition of Student in the Hall.
I would say no because the Royals lost last year and they're probably going to fail again this year.
I think the Royals will do good this year because they're awesome. So yeah.
All right, I think the Royals are going to then to do amazing and this year, and I think we're going to win the World Series.
Do you think the Royals are going to do well this year?
Yes, probably.
They're gonna do amazing.
Maybe, I don't know.
Woo!
Wait. Can I be completely honest?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. I think the Royals aren't actually probably going to do that well, being that last year was not the best, but they'll probably do just.
You told you the question.
Okay. The Royals are not going to do good this year
Why?
because they've already lost a lot of games, and it doesn't look like they're doing good. And I don't think they're going to do good this year.
No, because people usually suck after they win for like a 5-year time period.
Yeah, no, you're not doing it.
Well, actually, the Giants won like 3 years in a row, so
Well,
it's not true.
I don't obey the laws of baseball. That's how you play the sport.
How does that have anything to do with
No.
physics?
I don't know. I don't play that.
But still, the Royals suck this year and they're gonna lose.
They're gonna suck
Yeah,
really bad.
I agree.
I don't think the Royals are going to do good because the only 2 games they won were against the Astros, and they lost against the Twins. And as of this very moment, on April 12th,
It's the 13th.
is it 13th?
I know it's the 12th.
Stupid. On April 12th, 2017, they are currently 2-5.
I don't really know. I don't watch the Royals that much, but
If they could actually start hitting the ball maybe a little bit more, then maybe, just maybe, but pitching needs to get better. So, I don't know. Maybe. Restart. They're going to go to the playoffs but lose. I agree with that.
They're gonna go somewhere.
They're probably going to lose.
Yeah, they're going to do great.
I don't think the Royals are going to win this year because even though they won last year, it's probably not going to happen this year. And if they win this year, it's not going to be as exciting because the Royals haven't won for a long time.
Yes, the Royals are going to win this year.
I think the Royals will win because I have Team Spirit.
The Royals suck. Can't even get to the playoffs, and the record sucks at home.
The Royals are going to win.
Yes, the Royals are going to win this year.
The Royals are horrible.
No, they're not.
They're the worst.
How do you know at the Royals?
Because I hate baseball. Fake punch.
Wow, lots of different opinions. At least it's baseball weather out there.
I sure enjoy the weather. It makes me feel happy.
Well, let's go to our weather reporter to see how the weather is like.
Thanks, Karthik. I'm Jessica, and I'm here with the week's weather. Today there's a high of 74 degrees, but a 50% chance of rain. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a 40% chance of rain, and also 74 degrees. Thursday there's a high of 68 degrees, and again, partly cloudy. Friday there's a high of 71 to kick off your weekend.
Hey ABMS, it's Megan and Karthik, and we're here to inform you of Baskets at the Bend. It is the tip-off time for the second annual 4-on-4 basketball tournament at ABMS. Shout out to benchwarmers last year, our winners, but Karthik is going to fill you in on some of the information.
So this event will tip off at 6 p.m. on Friday, May 5th. Hope you can make it there. And the location for the event is right here at Aubrey Bend in the gym.
So you guys need to gather some friends to create a team, obviously. Fill out the team form by April 28th. Pay the entry fee of $5 per person and show up on game day ready to compete. Invite friends to cheer you on.
Remember that the sign-up forms are available at lunch and in Miss Lambrecht's or Mrs. McDaniel's rooms, 305 and 106. This event is a Stuco fundraiser that is sponsored by us. The proceeds go to Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer Foundation. It's for a good cause.
Woo! Be there.
Thank you, Jessica, on that weather report.
Dang, if the weather is like this, I wonder how sports are doing.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do know that they don't give up.
Well, let's go see how sports at ABMS is doing.
Hi, I am Katie Molson, and now I'm just interviewing one of the coaches from track. How many kids on the team is?
There are about 150 kids this year coming out for track.
How many different events on the track?
Well, let's see. We have the 100 meter, the 200 meter, the 400 meter, the 800 meter, the 1600 meter. We got hurdles. We have shot put, discus, long jump, triple jump, high jump. 11.
Yeah. How many meets in the season?
You're going to have 7 meets this year. 3 of them are at home. So make sure you get out and watch us.
What time after school track meet begin?
Our track meets begin at 3:15 and end around 5:30.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thanks, Katie. Now let's go to Riley.
Hi, I'm Riley Underwood, and I'm with sports. The NBA playoffs are coming up fast. The number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference is the Boston Celtics. The number 1 seed in the Western Conference is the Golden State Warriors. A big debate is who the NBA MVP should be. Side note, teachers, we could debate this in class. The biggest favorites for the MVP are Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and LeBron James. Russell Westbrook is coming into the triple-double record books as a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder. He broke Oscar Robertson's record for most triple-doubles in a season. He is also averaging a triple-double, which is very tough to do. James Harden is patrolling one of the best offenses in NBA history, this year's Houston Rockets. One of the only knocks on him is that he doesn't even try to play defense. Kawhi Leonard of the San Antonio Spurs is one of the best defensive players in the league. He's a well-rounded, fantastic player. And LeBron James has been great for a very long time. Last year, he led the Cleveland Cavaliers to a title. He has done so well in the past, which makes us expect too much from him. The 2017 NFL Draft is also coming up. It features all the up-and-coming great young players. The top pick is supposed to be Myles Garrett, a defensive end from Texas A&M. And finally, the Major League Baseball season is here. Who knows what will come? Will the Cubs repeat and reign supreme, or will the Royals surprise everyone and party like it's 2015? Whatever happens, it will be exciting.
Now let's go to the opposite of moving around, sitting and using technology.
Oh yes, let's go watch this segment of Tech Reviews.
Thousand One Spikes is a tough-as-nails platformer created by Nicholas in 2015. It was a great year for gaming, and a bunch of great games like Shovel Knight, Undertale, and a lot of other games that we've come to know and love. So I wouldn't be surprised that if a few games got overlooked and fell into obscurity and went unnoticed by the public. Thousand One Spikes is one of those games though. Probably because people never saw potential in the game. Probably because it was created by Nicholas, and Nicholas had a few problems with their games right then and there. They promised to publish 1,000 Spikes in 2012. Well, they never got it, and people forgot about it. But I can see that how many people were so excited to actually get to play the game because it was it looked so promising, and it blew me away the first time I saw the trailer on Wii U. I like the game. Never mind the fact that the game is hard as nails and it'll take you literally thousands of tries trying to beat the game, and doing multiplayer won't do you any good. The game's a lot of fun, and not to mention its soundtrack is amazing. So moving on, the game's difficulty does not look that hard at first, because they're trying to get you used to the controls, everything like that. After you get to World 1, you go to World 2, and BAM!
That's a whole different ball game. That is a whole different ball game.
So this game is definitely not a cakewalk, and if you're one of those gamers that like simple and slow and really easy to beat type of games, this game isn't for you. The game's simple to learn, but impossible to master. Thousand Spikes is a very underrated platformer, and definitely gives that NES style feel that we've all come to know and love. The reason why I like Thousand Spikes is because of how fun multiplayer is. It might not be the best idea if you're trying to go for actually beating the game, but if you're just gonna play with your friends, you just gotta have fun. That's what games are meant to be. It wasn't meant to be just some serious thing where you have speedrunners competing all around the world, all competing for the fastest time possible, in any way possible. But that's what I like about Thousand Spikes. It's just a very chaotic game if you're playing multiplayer. It's a blessing that in gaming that you shouldn't take for granted. So Thousand Spikes gets a 8 out of 10 for hilariously fun multiplayer, a well-designed story, great music, and great graphics, especially when you're considering that you're using 8-bit, and just an overall well-designed game that really is reminiscent to NES-style gameplay. But the only negatives I have with the game are no online multiplayer for any of those who like playing online. There isn't much to do after you beat the entire game, unless you want to beat the game with the other characters to see their endings. I'm the Conan Gamer Show for ABMS On Air Tech Reviews. Peace!
Wow, technology is growing day by day.
I mean, it's technology.
Yeah, and new advancement is made all the time.
You know what else is growing a lot?
No, I can't read your mind.
It's some other clubs we have here at ABMS.
Well, let's go see what the clubs are in this edition of Going Clubbing.
Okay, so what do you do in Poetry Club?
Well, it's a place where you can write poetry. We share poetry and you can get feedback on it.
It's right on.
Okay, so what caused you to create the Poetry Club? What made you?
Well, I got into poetry when we talked about it in class, and I thought there's probably more people like me who like poetry but may not have the time to write it, or maybe not a quiet environment, so that's what Poetry Club is for.
Pencil me in for that.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about that?
We're thinking about maybe doing a project where we could have a read in front of the whole school or something like that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We're here with Miss Freeman from Acapella Club to learn a little bit more about Acapella Club and what they do. So, what is Acapella Club like? And what is acapella?
Well, acapella is singing without instruments. And Acapella Club was started by a group of 7th graders, but 6th, 7th, and 8th graders are welcome to join. We're meeting Tuesdays before school at 7:15 and Thursdays after school until 4 o'clock.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I sure didn't know that there was an acapella club. Yeah, me too.
Well, I knew about it, but I was surprised when I found out that Mr. Hubbard's sister works at ABMS.
What? What?
Let's look into that in this episode of Closer Look.
So as a para, I go to different classrooms and kind of help teachers and make their job easier, and I walk around and help students that maybe have questions over homework or assignments. And I absolutely love my job. I love the students here. You guys always make my day and always put a huge smile on my face. I graduated from K-State, so go Cats! After I graduated from K-State, I went to Costa Rica and taught English as a second language there for 1 year. So me encanta hablar en español. So if you ever want to speak in Spanish, always come find me. So I love Spanish so much that sometimes I start thinking in Spanish. So before I speak, sometimes it kind of comes out as like Spanglish, like a mixture of English and Spanish, and it gets really confusing in my mind. So teaching English as a second language in Costa Rica is a little bit different from teaching things here in the United States. I had different classes from 6-year-olds to 60-year-olds, so business people and young children and then teenagers, so kind of all across the board, and it was an absolute blast. When I was younger, my family moved around a lot, and I think that I have lived in 5 different states: Arkansas, Alabama, Virginia, Illinois, and then finally Kansas. So Mr. Huggard and I are obviously brother and sister, and we have really weird nicknames for each other. I call him Steve and he calls me Jeff. I honestly have no idea how it happened. I think one day we were trying to be funny to my mom and we made up some story about our friend Steve that didn't really exist to try and like make her laugh. And so I started calling him Steve, and then somehow he calls me Jeff, and now I respond more to Jeff than I do to Molly. So, you know, weird family stuff.
I sure didn't know about that. Neither did I.
Wait, where's Waylon?
Oh, I forgot. He gave me a video yesterday. It's a wonderful day outside. A perfect day for a little outside reading.
Yeah, but there's much better service out here than there usually is. Can I have my phone back, please? Why are you being so mean?
Yeah, why did you ruin my perfect day?
Like,
Why are you bullying me this hard?
Yeah, I can report you.
Hey Jessica, it's a wonderful day outside. A perfect day for summer reading.
Yeah, I bet, but there's great service out here.
Oh, the wind. Thank you so much, Waylon.
Yeah, that was nice. If it were me, I would have just walked away.
Thanks, Waylon. You really made my perfect day even better.
dang, Waylon is getting better and better at acting.
Totally. Well, we have reached the end of our show.
Wait, we're missing a really important part of the show.
Oh, how could I ever forget? Oh yeah, we have a special video from a lot of 8th graders.
Cue the farewell video.
Interesting.
Adventurous.
It was straight fire.
Exciting.
Unique. Boring.
Auspicious.
Marvelous.
Okay.
Freedom.
Memorable.
Unexpected.
Great. Boring.
Fun.
Disgusting.
Bruh.
Okay.
Depressing.
Dope.
Easy.
Rigorous. Rigorous.
8th grade sucked.
It was just boring.
Quick.
Excellent. Lit.
Memorable. Fun. Something.
Poker.
Great.
Good. Long. Easy. Boring.
Fast.
Boring.
Fun. Challenging. Memorable.
Stressful.
Exhilarating.
Boring.
Dank.
Fun.
Sports.
It was alright. It was alright.
It was okay.
Interesting.
Tragic.
Depressing.
Fun.
Work. Interesting.
Awesome.
Good.
8th grade was catastrophic. Disastrous. Tragic.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Great.
Lit.
Boring. Fun.
Cornell notes.
Incredible.
Long.
Anticipation.
Interesting. Too long.
Dope.
Essays. Bittersweet. Unnecessary.
Interesting.
Fantastic.
Anticlimactic.
Long.
Bombastic. Energetic. Time consuming. Organized. Decent. Choices. Interesting.
Exciting.
Interesting.
Food.
Optimistic. Muy interesante.
Okay.
Stressful.
Earbuds.
Funny.
Low. Hot. Easy. Boring.
Stressful.
Saucy. Long.
Too much Spanish.
Excellent. Strange. Busy.
Tragic. Different.
Great, because we're trying a lot of new things. Fidgets.
Long. Unforgettable. Hard work. Unfavorable. Awful. A joke. Brutal. Stressful. Painful. Boring. Inhumane.
Confusing.
Stressful.
No. Mediocre. Brilliant. Not fun.
Awesome.
Freedom or fun.
Tragic.
I sure will miss all those 8th graders.
We are part of all those 8th graders.
No, and it's not the end of the show.
Wow, another amazing show.
This year has been going by really fast.
It sure has. See you next year.
But remember, it's a great day to be a Wolverine.
Roar! That was so slow.